So good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar. And I request everyone to keep yourself on mute so that ma'am could speak without interference, and we'll have a Q&A session at the end.
Hello and welcome everybody. This is Nilesh Lele, the current president of Chamber for Advancement of Small and Medium Businesses. I take this opportunity to discuss about the Chamber and all the achievements of Chamber in the past few years. The Chamber is based out of Mumbai with our office in BKC near the Family Court. The Chamber was founded in 2020 and more details can be found on our Chamber website at casmb.org.in. We are also very active on all the social media handles, including Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn. And most of our webinars and other lectures are available on our YouTube channel at CASMB India, which has close to 2,000 subscribers and more than 10,000 views. The Chamber was founded with a mission to work closely with all the stakeholders in the micro, small, and medium business arena, as well as to make them a strong backbone of the Indian economy. As we all know, MSME sector employs more than 11 crore people and also contributes more than 30% to India's GDP, as well as 40% to the export GDP. So it's very important to nurture and grow the micro, small, medium enterprises in order for India to achieve its vision of a $5 trillion economy. The Chamber was founded with these objectives in mind, trying to bring all the various stakeholders on the same platform, represent the MSMEs and put forth their challenges, problems, needs in various forums, help farmers to think and become like entrepreneurs, be a single point of contact and do a convergence of academic research, the new technologies available, as well as bring the various government schemes and policies to the MSMEs. We have also tried to help SMEs to achieve global markets, help them through capacity buildings, through trainings. We have also done various factory visits and helped the MSME sector to take part in various exhibitions across the world. We are blessed with a very strong advisory board. These names are stalwart in their own fields, especially in the food space. Our core committee comprises of Dr. Prabodh Halde as the chairman, me as the founding president, as well as Umesh Kamble as the secretary general. And then there are many others who work tirelessly on various aspects, right from Mr. Amod Salgaonkar as the director and Ms. Rupa Kanvind as the editor of our flagship quarterly magazine called Purna Brahma. We also have our women's cell and have representation across major states of India. There are various initiatives the Chamber works on, and over a period of past 2 years, we have tried to do various knowledge series, webinars, which are available on our YouTube channel. We also have a startup buddy program, a training portal called Food Tech Pathshala. We help in startups raise capital, help them avail recent technologies, and so on and so forth. In the past 2+ years, we have had more than 100 webinars, something what you're watching today as well. And all of them are available on our YouTube channel. So you can subscribe to the channel and keep watching different webinars, be it on technologies, be it on entrepreneurship success stories, be it on how to raise capital, how to do your fund management, and so on and so forth. We also nurture and help a lot of startups by assigning them mentors, by helping them raise capital, by helping them find markets. Under the Food Tech Pathshala initiative, which is a skill-based e-learning platform. More than 10,000 subscribers have benefited, and there are more than 40 courses related to food which are available, which can be subscribed and watched, and skills can be enhanced through this portal. We have had various CSR labs, various other technology developers come on our channel on through a webinar model, and they have displayed their initiatives, their technologies that are available for tech transfer, be it the CSR lab in Chandigarh called IM Tech, be it NIFTEM, be it ICT, and all these information can be found on our website as well as on the YouTube channel. Our quarterly magazine, Purna Brahma, is again very well appreciated and circulated widely. The soft copy, the PDF, as well as the flipbook is available on our website at casmb.org.in. So in case you have missed any of our earlier magazines, you can go view, download it from there. We also have a hard copy, which you can subscribe with an annual subscription. As we all know, MSME, the biggest pain point they face is finding a market, finding the forward linkage, and we have tried to enable the entrepreneurs to find market through buyer-seller meets, to help them to register on the GEM portal and get business through the GEM portal, or be it subsidies for attending various exhibitions. We have very strong connects with different government as well as foreign agencies, the consulates, which again indirectly benefit our MSME members. We conduct various study tours. 3 such factory visits have also been conducted and are available for viewing on our Food Tech Pathshala portal. We have a dedicated women cell who does handholding of women entrepreneurs, because we feel women can play a great role in achieving our Honorable Prime Minister's dream of $5 trillion Indian economy. In case you are interested in the hard copy subscription of our Purna Brahma magazine, you can sign up for a 1 year, 2 year, or a 5 year subscription. You can contact Ms. Prajakta at the number given here to get a hard copy of our magazine. The soft copy is available on our CSMB website. Some of our achievements over past few years is where we have mentored more than 250 plus food startups. We have helped many of them raise capital either through equity or through debt. Many of our members have been able to achieve business through the various initiatives that the chamber has undertaken. New technologies can be availed through research institutes or educational institutes, be it on fruit and vegetable processing, turmeric processing, dehydration, fruit wines, and many more. Some more additional benefits that our members also get are either free or registration or even subsidized registration in our own events as well as in our partner events. The members can also use our chamber office for their own meetings in case they don't have a presence in Mumbai, where they can have their client meetings as well as other meetings, and use the chamber office in BKC in Mumbai. I appeal to all to become a member, because as a community we can achieve a lot. We have tried to keep membership fees at a very nominal amount of 2,500 rupees per year, or you can become a lifetime member for 20 years by paying 25,000 rupees and avail so many different benefits that our members are able to achieve. Some of our recent achievements were we organized a conference at the Anutech International Exhibition in Mumbai in September. A session on MSME schemes and support was also organized, where Shri Praful Umreji, the Assistant Director at MSME Development and Facilitation Office, Mumbai, spoke about various schemes, subsidies available for barcodes, the various subsidies available for MSMEs was discussed by him. We also had sessions by the Quality Council of India on leveraging conformity assessment framework for ensuring food safety for farm to fork. as well as food safety and nutrition, role of conformity by Ms. Varsha Mishra. We have
कौन सा महीने
conducted
का चाहिए आपको?
Fund Quest, which is a fundraising event where various startups were pitched their ideas, their business models to various investors. This one was conducted in September 2022 at Bangalore as part of the food ingredient, health ingredient exhibition. And this is a quarterly event and happens every quarter, 4 times a year, where many startups have benefited through investments from the investor pool that we have. We have also conducted a seminar along with the US Soybean Export Council on the soya food uses and business opportunities. We conducted the Zero Effect, Zero Defect, the Z certification awareness program at Mumbai as well as Pune. We were fortunate to attend and carry around 15 or so startups along with us to the Pitch to Fork event that happened in Dubai, which was supported and funded by US Soybean Export Council and the Right to Protein initiative. We have also conducted various events with California Agriculture Export Council. One of the most recent one was on the California ingredients. And we have been doing many such events on an ongoing basis. So please follow us on our social media handles to know the details in advance about the upcoming events, about our activities. And I also welcome you all and encourage you all to become a member of our chamber, because as a group, as a community, I'm sure we can achieve a lot. And like I keep saying, help achieve our Honorable Prime Minister achieve the dream of $5 trillion economy in next few years. So thank you very much for giving me this opportunity and listening to me. These are my coordinates, my phone number, my WhatsApp number, as well as my email. So feel free to reach out to me or to anybody from our team in case you.
To introduce today's speaker, Architecture Pratiksha Porwal, a holistic health and mindset coach. As a health coach trained in advanced nutrition therapy, Architecture Pratiksha consults people to live on diet which is closer to nature.
Diksha,
Yeah.
interrupt you. It is architecture. Architecture is the subject that I've studied. It's architecture.
Okay, sorry.
Thank you.
So Architect Pratiksha consults people to live on diet which is closer to nature via the high raw, fruitarian and whole food plant-based nutrition. This lifestyle is also popularly known as Raw Till 5 lifestyle. She guides people on how to lose weight, naturally reverse diseases like diabetes, hypertension, etc. Understand that true power of healing lies within themselves and thus live in medicine-free life. As a mindset coach, being a certified life coach, she helps people resolve their day-to-day challenges by the ways of self-introspection and self-awareness exercises. As a result, most people are able to realize their true visions, dreams, and actual purpose of life. Thus, they are able to live a life of their own design, which they were actually meant to live. So over to you, ma'am. Let's begin this interesting session. Ma'am, you're on mute.
So thank you, Diksha, for such a detailed introduction, and also heartfelt thanks to CASMB for inviting me over here. And I heard whatever Nilesh said. He's a dear friend, and the amount of work that this organization is doing, I'm myself privileged. And it's an honor for me that I've been invited over here to address so many people and to speak about health. So are everyone over here excited to be part of this session? Whoever is excited will put their cameras on so that I can see you guys and we can interact. Because the more we interact, the better we learn. And the better we learn, the better we can take actions. Am I right? Hi, Dilip. I'll be putting the gallery view so I can see. Hi, Rasika. Who else? I really want to know each one of you. Hi, Meghna. Good to see you. Sneha, SJ, Sushma, Sulakshana, Shreya, Deepak, Sakshi, Akshay, Sonal, Kanchan, SB, Arpit, Sagar, Prasad. Hi Sneha, good to see you. Okay, if I don't see 5 more videos minimum popping out, then I'm also talking this way today. Chalo. This is how our lecture is going to be, right? How fun will it be? Is it going to be fun or not? Yeah. So please type your partners or anyone whom you know from this organization, just type their names and tell them, okay, get your videos on. Okay, because it's an interactive webinar. It's not a podcast. Yeah. Okay, great. So I want to start by sharing the screen, and the topic of today is increase the productivity in your office hours by going through a natural lifestyle. Okay, so can you all tell me, type in the chat box, what do you mean by productivity? What is productivity? What is productivity?
उत्पादकता.
उत्पादकता. Okay, that's a nice word for me also. मतलब बहुत ही pure हिंदी शब्द है, right? ये दिलीप जी?
हिंदी मराठी दोनों में यूज होता है.
अच्छा, okay, nice. Output and result. Yes, SB is saying it is the amount of output and output and result, and it also means that how much input you can give, and in that much, how much output can you give. Like, in an hour, can you type 100 pages or 50 pages or 20 pages? It all depends upon how much can you work, right? So we all have limited hours in the day. Do we have just 24 hours in a day? Yeah. Okay. And I want to tell you guys again, this is going to be a very interactive webinar. The more you interact, the more I will receive energy from you guys. Okay. So just keep typing. And Sonal also has written very beautifully. Yes, it means energy. It means efficiency. So have you seen people, they are energetic throughout the day and they're always wanting to do more work. And you just wonder, how did that person finish so much work? And how is it that she is filled up with so much energy? Are there such people in your offices? Are there? You can even unmute and talk. Acha, Diksha, I want to say, is it okay if I speak in English or should I speak in another language? Matlab Hindi bolu, Marathi, which is?
Mix of Hindi and English is good.
English and Hindi is good. ठीक है. तो पहली बात तो मैं चाहती हूँ आप सब जो भी एटलीस्ट इनका वीडियो ऑन है, प्लीज स्माइल करें. ये कोई सीरियस लेक्चर नहीं है, लाइफ है. हाँ, हम कुछ नया सीख रहे हैं, राइट? ओके, स्माइल करें, कुछ जोक करें, कुछ मजे करें, तब जाके आपको मजा आएगा, राइट? So, and I want to clap. I want all of you to clap for yourself, because there are so many people in this CASMB, right? So many people are there. But why is it that only you people are there today for this lecture? Because you were meant to be here today. Someone must have had some emergency. Someone must be having some deadline. Someone must be having some meetings. But despite everything, today you 20 people who are there are here because you're here for a reason, because you're going to learn a lot. Okay, so let me start by sharing the screen. How to remain more productive in your office. And that also means even in your kitchen. Even your kitchen is an office, like for the housewife who's there. For her, the kitchen is her office. So how to remain productive throughout the day by going back to nature. Okay, so I'll share the screen. And if you can see the screen, let me know. Can you see the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. So now, welcome. I'm so happy that all of you are here and we have just clapped for each one of us. Now, next go to the, which is, मैं चाहती हूँ कि आप सब मुझे बताएं, why are you here? And दिल खोल के बताना. And जब तक आप सोचे कि मैं क्या बताऊं, let me tell you, my story. I was a person who could never understand that how is it that people are energetic between 2 to 5 in the afternoon. मुझे ये लगता था इनको नींद नहीं आती क्या, काम कैसे कर सकते हैं? How can I finish a deadline at 4, or how can I finish, you tell me to be awake at 7 and 7 to 12 or 7 to 2, I could work. But afternoons, oh my God, it was a big no-no. Second problem that I had was that waking up early. मतलब 6-7 बजे उठना तो मेरे लिए सजा होती थी कि oh God, इतनी जल्दी कौन उठता है? 9-10 होना चाहिए. That should be the time for waking up, right? तो आप में से ऐसे कौन है? And I used to wonder, especially when I used to see people who are totally energetic, कि कैसे रहते हैं? So something happened in my life. आप लोग ये भी सोच रहे होंगे, who is she to tell us how can you increase productivity? That's because something happened in my life, something changed in me. And after that, I naturally forgot, wanting to sleep in the afternoons, or I can easily wake up even at 4 o'clock in the morning now. Okay. So does that mean that if I'm not sleeping 2 or 3 hours in the afternoon, and if I can wake up at 4 in the morning also, do I automatically get 4 or 5 hours extra to work? Do I? Yeah. And if I automatically get, then do you think that I mean that I'm even having more energy? That's the reason I'm not feeling sleepy. If I'm not feeling sleepy, I'm not lethargic. That means I'm more energetic, right? Right? Can you type your answers in the chat box? I'm a very interactive person. I'm not a person who's going to just show you 20 slides and just go technical. So I want yes or no's in the chat box. Yes, Sagar says yes. Super. The more interactive you all will be now, you will learn. So, how we talk in a class, I want you guys to talk. But because we are in a Zoom webinar, you have to type so that everyone can read. Okay. Okay. Personally feel that I'm not productive enough, as at the end of the day, I realize I could have been more productive. This is Shreya. And I also have here friends and family saying they need to be more productive, but don't know how. Yes. And I want everyone to clap for Shreya because she has been vulnerable in front of you. She's telling her problems in front of you. So anyone and everyone who puts their problem out here, I want all of you to understand no one is going to judge the other person. No judging at all. We all are human beings. We all are trying to learn. We all are trying to grow. और भी कुछ problems है तो बताइए. Let me know so that we know what we are trying to solve. How many of you feel the need of caffeine so that you can, start your day with a vibrancy, and only then can you work? How many of you tell to your friends or to your families कि चाय के बिना तो मेरा दिन चालू ही नहीं होता? Diksha she has a big grin on her face and she's like, yeah, चाय के बिना तो मेरा दिन शुरू ही नहीं होता, right? कितने लोग हैं जो चाय कॉफी के बिना जाग नहीं सकते? चहा पाहिजे आम्हाला एकदम मस्त कडक अद्रकची. नाही पिलं की डोकं दुखतं, headache होता है, right? So, and how many of you, after your lunch hours, you need another round of tea or coffee? And how many of you need more than 2 cups of tea or coffee every day? Yeah, Diksha is already having one, and it's tea time. It's technically the tea time for office, right? We wait for the peon to come at 4 o'clock and we turn our heads, chaha alika. Do we do that? Yeah. So I want to ask you that, yeah, Sagar is saying double clap. Yeah. So I want to ask you, as a child, we all are beings of nature. As a child, how many of you ever required tea or coffee to play throughout the day, or to do masti, or to do your studies, or to wake up to go to school? How many of you needed it? None, right? None of us needed it. And when did this habit of tea or coffee come to us? I'll tell you when it started. Mostly it started when your board exams were nearing. In your 9th, in your 10th, when you had to achieve those marks and you had to excel beyond, you had to study beyond extra hours and finish your portions. That is the time I remember when my mom must have said, "एक cup coffee पी ले, 1 घंटा और पढ़ ले." Right? या सुबह जल्दी उठना है तो तुम मैं तुमको मस्त गरम चाय बना के देती हूँ, अच्छे से उठ जाओगे. You started having your tea or coffee when you got the first taste of tea or coffee. Am I right? Or is there some other time? Let me know. If there was some other time, just type in the chat box. Agreed. Shreya says yes. Sagar says yes. And I want every one of you to clap for Shreya and Sagar. How much they are talking, right? So clap for them. I want the members to be very active. Okay, great. And I want all of you to make the most of these 45 minutes that we have. So, आज productivity की बात है तो tell your mind, these 45 minutes I'm going to be the most productive because I want to learn more. Okay. So, what should we do now? Now that we have got addicted to tea and coffee, what should we do? First, I would like you to tell, I would like all of you to know that no matter how many years of addiction you've had to tea or coffee, it's an addiction. If you get a headache, if you cannot start your day without tea or coffee, it's an addiction. Whether you're having 1 cup or 2 cups a day, it doesn't matter. If you cannot function without caffeine, it's an addiction that you're going through. And let me tell you one more thing, that caffeine is one of the most socially acceptable addiction that we all are having. It is socially acceptable. It is considered okay. आप वाइन और विस्की सुबह सुबह लेके आओगे तो सोसाइटी बोलेगी अरे काम के टाइम में ये सब शुरू कर दिया है, बट आप चाय लेके आओगे तो कोई कुछ नहीं बोलेगा. इनफैक्ट व्हेन यू गो फॉर एनी मीटिंग, आपको क्लाइंट या आपके कलीग्स या आपके गेस्ट या आप जिनके घर जा रहे हो, सब जगह पहले यही आता है, चाय लेंगे कि कॉफी लेंगे, राइट? तो ये सोसाइटी में एक नॉर्मल माना जाता है, बट ये एक एडिक्शन है. तो सबसे पहले आप उस एडिक्शन से दूर होने की कोशिश करिए. कैसे दूर होंगे? Give yourself just 3 or 4 days. Even if you're addicted to coffee or tea for more than 10 days, for more than 10 years or 20 or 30 years, still you do not require more than 4 days or maximum 5 to get rid of the habit of tea. Yes, you will have your headaches, you will have some withdrawal symptoms, but you will come out of the cage of that small cup that is holding you under its control. Okay? Is that something that you all are getting? What I'm trying to say, you do not need to do it, but are you understanding what I'm trying to say? How many of you are at least ready to give it a try? And let me tell you, I was also one of those people who couldn't get up without tea. I needed, you can see this mug full, and at times even more than this in the mornings, and another cup of tea at 4 or 5 p.m. in the evening. I needed it. And for 20 years, I was addicted to it. And then one day I just thought, okay, let me try. Let me see how it feels. And I left it. The first 2 days was super horrible. No one dare come in front of me at that time because I was super irritated, super, aggressive. But I kept my calm. I tried to go through it. And on the 3rd day or the 4th day, I realized I never needed it. My bowel movements were better. I never needed tea or coffee to get up in the morning. मुझे ऐसे जो हम उठते हैं ना, and we feel like that drowsiness कि जब तक चाय नहीं मिलेगी तो आंखें नहीं खुलेगी. None of that happened within 3 days. So give yourself a chance, come out of that trap, and let me tell you, your productivity ऐसे ही increase हो जाएगी. It will already increase. Okay. So what I'm trying to cover right now is that to increase your productivity, it is very important to leave the things that are toxic. Is there any animal in nature who gets up and says, adrak si chaha paije, ani he paije, te paije? No, no. They just get up, start walking, and they get about with their business. They will hunt, otherwise they just keep walking. And wild animals are in the most natural state today, which we need to learn from. We really need to observe how wild animals live in nature, and we need to learn from them. Okay? So this is what I meant. Try to get rid of your habit of tea or coffee. Now, the second thing, what are the natural foods that you should have so that you feel more productive? Okay. And for that, the slide comes over here, which is the topic of the day. Can you see the full slide? Are you able to see the full slide? Yeah. Oh, great.
Yes.
Great. Great. Thank you. So increase productivity by natural lifestyle. What all can you see on the photo over here? I have only 45 minutes. So the faster you reply, the easier it will be for me. Fruits, yes.
Fruits.
You all can see fruits, all varieties of fruits, and such beautiful, colorful fruits. Are they the most natural foods available in nature today for human beings? Which do not need any salt, no haldi, no adrak tadka, no lasan ka chhonk, nothing. You take a papaya, let it ripen, cut it, you can eat it, right? So these are the most natural foods available for humans, which we have been told that be scared of them, don't have them in abundance. हम बोलते हैं ना फ्रूट ज्यादा नहीं खाना, सर्दी खांसी भी फ्रूट ज्यादा मत खाओ. और किस काम में बोलते, डायबिटिक्स को कहा जाता है, डायबिटीज है फ्रूट्स मत खाओ, तुम मोटे हो जाओगे केले खाओगे तो. जिसको ओबेसिटी होती है उसको बोलते हैं फ्रूट्स मत खाओ. तो हमें बहुत डरा दिया गया इनके इन चीजों से, लेकिन ये हमारा सबसे नेचुरल खाना है, ये सबसे इजी खाना है. और जब आप इस तरह खाते हो, आपकी प्रोडक्टिविटी, आपकी एनर्जी, आपकी ग्लो स्किन पे, आपका वेट रिडक्शन, आपकी डिजीज रिवर्सल ऑटोमेटिकली सब होने लगते हैं. ओके, सो लेट्स मूव अहेड कि कैसे. Who is Pratiksha to tell us? How can she tell us all these things? So let me tell you a bit about myself. 8 years ago, are you all listening? Do you want me to tell you about myself a bit? Type yes in the chat box or unmute yourself and talk. Yeah, Rasika says yes. Superb. Sagar says yes. Yeah, Sneha says yes. Yes, great. So now I was 82 kgs in the year 2015. How much was I? 82 kgs. Okay. And I had given birth. I had a 4-year-old daughter, and I had recently given birth son who was 5 months at that time. And I wanted to obviously reduce weight. I wanted to become fitter, blah, blah, everything. And I came across some friends who I realized in whose wedding I had gone. And I realized in their own wedding, where there is a beautiful Gujarati lunch being served, these people, the bride and the bridegroom, they are having a banana smoothie on the stage. And I was like, are they stupid? I mean, it's their own wedding. And what are they doing? They are having a banana smoothie. मतलब आज तो आपको मजे करने चाहिए ना. But no. So then I invited, as is the culture in India, हम शादीशुदा couples को हमारे घर बुलाते हैं बाद में खाना खाने के लिए. तो मैंने उनको बुलाया. मैंने बोला आप क्या लेंगे खाने में? Because I knew that they eat raw foods. बोले आप बनाना लेके आके रखना. मैंने बोला बस. बोले हाँ. बोले बंदर है क्या ये लोग? I mean, पूरा टाइम बनाना संतरा इतना कौन खाता है? They are like, okay. लाया मैंने उनके लिए, but I was very curious. How are they living this life and what are they doing? So then they told me technically why they are doing this, why they have 80% raw foods. And when I started implementing it in my life, slowly and steadily, I reduced to 56 kgs without doing any exercise. And I used to have as good as 8 to 10 bananas in a day. I used to have an entire papaya for lunch, an entire watermelon, 6 oranges, 7 mangoes. You tell me and I could have it. And slowly and steadily, just the way the river flows down to meet the sea, I just gradually came down to 56 kgs. And even till date, it's been 8 years since then, even till date, I am not fluctuating between 56 to 57 kgs. Sometimes I go to 59, but within a week or 10 days, if I want to come down, I come down. Normally, I'm not more than 56, 57 kgs. So how is it that I'm remaining so naturally at this weight? Because I'm eating in accordance with nature and more of that. Have you ever guys seen a deer in nature which is obese? Have any of you seen a deer which is obese? कि ये deer थोड़ा मोटा है. Huh? Have you guys ever seen a fat lion? A fat zebra? No. Right? Why? Because they eat in accordance with nature. But we human beings have forgotten our connection. So the more we go closer, the better our bodies become. Okay. So let's go ahead. So what was the title? Increase productivity by natural lifestyle. And what is that lifestyle? Increasing the consumption of raw foods in your body. Raw foods. Now you guys will ask me, okay, why foods? Okay. Acha, I want to tell you another thing. I had 2 more health problems at that time. I had hemorrhoids, which is a condition of piles. Okay. If some of you know, it means that while passing stool, there is ulcer in the anal opening. There are ulcers over there and you cannot pass stool very easily. But within 15 days of me trying to follow this lifestyle, I didn't require any medication. The entire hemorrhoids ka symptoms went away. I don't even remember when I healed and it just disappeared. I had a tailbone problem. I could not sit any, tailbone is basically the coccyx bone. I had fallen someday and the coccyx bone had, again, it is between the hips. The coccyx bone had got bent. And the doctors told me this is a position where you can't apply any plaster, so it's never going to heal. So you will have to carry a pillow which has a circle in between. And if you ever have to sit on a hard surface, sit on that pillow. Within 15-20 days, again, of following this lifestyle, I don't remember when was the first time ever that I took that pillow out of my house. Again, my coccyx bone also healed without any medication. Okay. So via raw foods. Now, how many of you, before you came to this webinar today, knew about the word raw food or raw lifestyle? How many of you have ever heard about it? Even if you've not heard about it, you can say no. Okay, Sagar says no, never heard. Have you? Rasika says no, right?
Yes.
Somebody has said yes.
Myself, Sonal Gusalia.
Yeah, great, great, great. Superb. Anybody else who knows and who doesn't know? Prasad says no. Yeah, right. Kaise pata chalega? Tell me. You will never come to know much about raw meals because in the newspapers, you do not get an ad ke eat spinach and you will get protein. Eat a papaya and you will get your B carotene. You will get a nice flavored bottle with some beautiful labels and some 10 ingredients in it, and it will be written, oh, have this drink for your B12. So many minerals are added, so many vitamins are added. So you know what my coach tells me? The Pratiksha, stop having all the things of which you see ads of. But start having those things of which you don't see any ads. And do you ever see palak bhindi ads on the newspaper? You see it in the grocery store ka this, you get bhindi anything. But have you ever seen a bhindi wala put an ad that this bhindi has so many properties and you should have this? No, you never see, right? So natural foods are very easy to grow, and that's why the society at large, the corporations at large, the pharmacy at large, they don't want you to know about its power. Okay, so that's why you don't get to hear much about it. So now let's move ahead. What is raw food? Okay, and Diksha, please do let me know how much is the time remaining. And if it is less, you do let me know. I'll take for another 10 minutes. And there is a quiz I want you all guys to answer. Once you do that quiz, you will only realize what I'm trying to tell you all. So what is raw food? Raw food means any food which has never been heated or heated only till 40 degrees centigrade in the, either it is sun-baked or it is done in a dehydrator. Nothing that is heated is called raw foods. Okay. Second, why raw food? You'll be like, why raw food? Why do you need to have raw food? Why can't we have a balanced meal of a poha and a roti, sabzi, dal, chawal, and again a khichdi kadhi in the night, right? We call them as balanced meal. Because I want to ask you one question. Can you tell me how many animals in nature? Today, the concept is natural lifestyle. The theme is natural lifestyle, right? So how many wild animals in nature do you know eat cooked foods? How many lions have you come across who say, oh, I want a deer biryani, with lovely lasan adrak and, iska tadka? And how many giraffes have you seen who say, oh, I want a palak paratha? Right? If they are having their fruits, they have it raw. If they are having their grass, they eat it raw. If they are eating their leaves of the trees, they eat it raw. If the lion is hunting for a meat, they eat it raw. Even we, when we were born to our mothers, we were having the breast milk of our mother, which was raw. Do you guys agree or not? But we were slowly, when we become 6 months old, because our parents were told cooked is better, then their parents were told, and their parents were told. Everybody has been telling us that you have to have balanced cooked meals to remain healthy in life. But the more you go towards raw, the better. Now there is a quiz. Or before the quiz, let me tell you, why is raw most natural? So there are 3 things. Animals eat in accordance with nature. First is they eat their food in its natural state totally. As I told you, they don't cut it into wonderful slices. They don't put any flavorings on it. They don't heat it. They don't grill it, nothing. The lion eats its meat the way it eats. Like, you would not like to see a lion eating meat. He will just rip apart the flesh. He will run behind the prey. He will rip apart the flesh with its own claws and just eat it then and there in its natural form, not altered by human. The giraffe eats the grass as it naturally. The monkeys, not the ones who are roaming around us in the society, but the monkeys in the jungles, they eat their fruits as it is. So animals eat their food which are existing in their own natural form. They do not change the structure of the food. Secondly, animals eat with their own body form. What can they, they don't require a spoon or a fork to eat their food, or a plate or a katori or a glass, nothing. If a lion can rip apart the flesh of a meat source with its own claws, it's only then when it eats the meat. If a snake can open its jaws so big they can easily swallow a rat or a frog or something, then only they eat it. Do you think snakes have any hands or anything to pluck any fruit? They don't, right? They have the fangs with which they poison their prey. They let the prey go unconscious and they gobble it up. They swallow it, right? The cows, they can bend their necks down, the cows and the horses, and they can munch on the grass. They bend down, they can munch on the grass. They don't need their hands or legs to eat it. Same is for the giraffe or the elephants. They eat the leaves of the trees because their necks or their trunks can reach that height. Okay. So they eat their food in its whole. Second, they eat their food with what their, okay. Third, they also eat with their own 5 senses. And to understand what are our 5 senses, what are the 5 senses of your body? This is sight, your smell, your taste, what you hear, and also what you can touch, right? These are the 5 senses. So let us have a quiz to understand that if you were supposed to eat with your 5 senses, and if you were in the jungle, the way we were earlier, the cavemen, or even before that, what is it that we could eat? Before we even decided how to develop our weapons or to sharpen our knives, right? So if I'm walking in a jungle, to all of you I'm asking, if I'm walking in a jungle and there is a chicken walking by me, and then there is a papaya tree, and I'm super hungry, and I don't have any of the tools that manhood, has developed, or mankind has developed, sorry. What is it that I will eat?
Papaya.
Exactly. Right? If there is a goat walking by and then there is a bhindi or a bhindi plant or some green leaves over there, do you think I will go behind that goat and, run behind that goat with all the digestive juices coming in my mouth? I want to kill that goat right now and I want to eat it right now. Will I do that? Or can you all do that? With your own bare hands. Can you do that? Without any knife, anything?
No.
Eating, right? Okay. And while I'm making this presentation, I want to tell you guys, I am not here to make any judgments on anyone who's eating non-vegetarian or eating vegetarian or cooked meals. I'm here to make you understand that somewhere a human being, the way we are, we have lost our senses with nature or our connect with nature. So I'm here to help you rebuild your connect. Okay. So would you all like to take a quiz for this? Would you all like to know your own senses? Right? Sulakshana says yes. And Dilip ji says yes. SB says yes. Superb. Anybody else? Sagar also says yes. Superb. Nupur says yes. Lovely. Arpit says yes. Beautiful. Meghna says yes.
Yes.
And I love this fact because only when we take quizzes, when we question ourselves, that's when we feel like doing something. Why should you listen to Pratiksha? Take the quiz and find it out for yourself. Okay. So for your quiz, again, you will have to be very interactive in the chat box. Okay. So we'll start. So first is our sense, which is our sight. Okay. You guys are driving on the road. Okay. And you come across an apple orchard. And after a few minutes, you come across a dead dog lying on the road. Okay. And they both are sources of food in their natural form. If you don't want to imagine a dog, okay, fine. Imagine a cow or a goat, which is lying dead on the, road. Now, which food would you like to eat in its natural state? When you drive down, would you like to get down and, grab those apples and put some in your basket for your friends and family? Or would you like to scoop out all the meat from the dog? Or would you actually feel sympathy for the dog or that goat or cow? Oh my God, bichara mar gaya. How would your face become at that time when you see this meat in its original state? Would you be like, I just want to eat it? Or you'll be like, oh my God, what happened? So out of 1 or 2, what is it that you guys would like to eat? Yeah, SB,
1 apple.
Sagar says apple. Nupur says apple. Beautiful. Rasika, Shreya, Sulakshana, Meghna. Beautiful. I'm loving all your answers. And I hope you are realizing your answers. I would like all of you to write down which side it is answer number 1. So write down how many ones you get or how many yeses you get. Now let's go to the second one, which is touch. Okay, this is our second sense. I don't know whether it's a second sense. In the slide, it's second. So it's our second slide, second question. How are your hands built? Are they built to rip apart the flesh of any animal? Or are they built to pluck any fruit or to pluck any vegetable so that you can have it more easily? How are your hands built? Is it as per, is it 1 or is it the way it is in 2? How are your hands? 1, right? Nupur says 1. Sulakshana says to pluck fruits and vegetables. Sonal says fruits. Shreya says yes, to pluck, right? So this is your hand. Your hands are built to pluck, to gather things, not to kill or rip apart anything. Okay. Now the third one, SB also says 1. Smell. This, again, you're driving somewhere and you come across an orange orchard and you come across a grain orchard. We eat jawar bhakri, nachni bhakri, we eat all types of grains, right? But that is processed, no matter how good it is for our health, it has come through some levels of processing. This is the grain field over here in its most natural form. And this is an orange orchard over here in its most natural form. So by the smell, which one would you really like to go towards and fill your, tummies with? Which one would you like to run towards? Is it 1 or 2? Again, Rasika says 1, Sulakshana says 1, SB says 1, Arpit says 1, Sagar 1, right? Yeah. Nupur says 1, Shreya says 1, right? Would you all want to know the fourth question? So grains also, actually, if you go to see, it is not our natural food. The more you have grains in your body, the more heavy it becomes for your body and it cannot digest. So reduce the quantity of grains. That is what I'm trying to tell you in this slide. Now the fourth one, sound. How many of you would like to go to an organic farm and just enjoy with your family and hear the sounds of the birds and, just chit chat happening amongst human beings and just collecting your food? How many of you would like to have a trip to place number 1? And how many of you would like to have a trip to place number 2 where the animals or the cows are actually being tortured for the milk and meat that we procure from them? How many of you say K? Yeah, I think Arpit says 1, Sagar says 1, Sulakshana 1, Rasika 1, SB 1. Right? Do you ever think that you want to go to a slaughterhouse for a picnic? No. And do you know why these slaughterhouses, most of these slaughterhouses, they are always kept away from the cities. They do not want you humans to connect with the emotions of the animals which are getting cut for you. So they are always kept away from the cities. And if you ever go near a slaughterhouse, the amount of smell that you get of the dead meat over there, that is something you cannot even tolerate. It doesn't go with our senses. Probably a lion would love staying there forever. But as a human being, we are not built to enjoy the raw taste of meat. Okay, right. Now let's go to the last quiz, taste in its natural form. If I keep a bare meat piece in front of you, and if I keep a bare chico in front of you, again, natural, no masalas, no salt, no cooking, no grilling, nothing. What would you like to taste? Would you like to taste the food that is there in pick 1 or the food that is there in pick 2? Sonal, Sagar, Rasika, SB, Dilip, all of you are saying 1. So I asked you 5 questions, and how many of these answers were 1 for all of you? How many out of 5 did you get 1 answers, like where you chose 1 as the answer? Was it 4 out of 5, 3 out of 5, or 5 out of 5? All 5, right? So what I'm trying to tell you is that I hope you guys understand that the more you start having raw foods, and do not feel bad about it, do not feel extreme about it. Like if you have 2 apples for your meal and somebody's like, ye kya kha bhi nahi hai, isme ye nahi hai, wo nahi hai, kaise jiyogi? Don't worry. Just start understanding that nature had made these foods for you the way you are built. Okay. So now what all does raw food consist? In raw foods, you can have lovely leafy greens. You can have lots of vegetables. Now coming to vegetables and fruits, it is not put in the quiz, but I'll ask you 2 more questions, 2 more additional bonus questions. If I'm in a field of bhindi, or if I'm in a field of cabbages, and on the opposite side, there is a field of mango or field of banana or field of apples, what is it that I would like to go to stomach with?
Fruits, mango, apple.
Exactly. Which is the fruit that you don't like? Say guava. Even in guava and bhindi, what would you like to eat? More. Kacha.
Guava.
Yeah, you can eat a guava because their taste and texture is made for humans. So when you want to eat raw, it will be good if you depend more on fruits rather than depend more on salads. So I will tell you what I do. I eat 4 or 5 meals of fruits and 1 salad meal. Many people do it reverse. So anyone who has diabetes, they might have to do it in a different way, but it's better that you depend more on fruits and less on vegetables. Not that vegetables are bad, but by nature, again, fruits are something that you and me are designed to digest better rather than the raw vegetables. Okay. Now let's go ahead. What all is included? You can have any kind of green leafy vegetables in your raw form. You can have fruits and vegetables in raw form. You can have some sprouted legumes and sprouts, matkis jo hum khate hain. Again, that you can have, you can have a lovely salad of that you can have in a raw form. Nuts and seeds you can have in a raw form. Can you have jawar atta in a raw form? Can you have jawar atta in a raw form? No, you cannot, right? Then you can have herbs and some microgreens or some, tulsi and wheatgrass, all those things you can have to juice certain herbs, and you can have that in raw form. And the most sparingly available, which you don't get everywhere, is seaweed, the food that is inside the beds of the oceans, and the nutritional yeast. Even that you can have in a raw form. And again, the base of everything is water. You should always have lots and lots and lots and lots of water. So now coming to this, because the time is limited, so I'm trying to cover up as much as possible. Try to increase the quotient of raw foods in your life. Why? I'll tell you. Now I'll tell you why primarily. When you have meat or milk or grains or any cooked food, our body does not recognize it. Okay? And when it doesn't recognize it, I will tell you which are the most 2 famous tea times. One is in the morning because you're already addicted, but there is a mid-morning time also when all of you have tea or coffee in your office. Am I right? Around 11, 11:30. And then again at 4 or 5, you have a tea or coffee. Why? Because at breakfast, you had grains, poha, upma, idli, dosa. And then your body goes down because the body is putting the energy in digesting the food, so it cannot give you energy enough to do your work. Similarly, during your lunchtime, when you have a nice stuffed meal of roti, sabzi, dal, chawal and everything, you again feel very sluggish and you feel sleepy because your tummy needs more energy to digest and everything is concentrated there. Nothing is there in your brains or in your arms, right? So when you have raw foods, your body easily recognizes it. It digests raw food within 1 or 2 hours max. Any cooked food that you want to have, it will take more than 2 or 3 or 4 hours or even 3 days to digest, depending on what form of cooked food are you having. So that's why for better productivity, you require more energy. And for more energy, you require lighter foods. And which are the lightest foods? Raw food. They are even lighter than any good soup also that you can ever have. Okay. Now, all of you must be wondering, raw food means only ghas patti and only fruit, she's saying. How can we live on raw food? So there are some people who beautifully survive on 80 or 90 or even 95% raw foods. And then there are some people who are fully on raw foods. They have totally stopped having any cooked food. Like they will just say no. They will buy 6 bananas and eat that at a wedding, but they will not eat cooked food. So I'm not asking you guys to convert yourself totally into raw. Till date, even I have 1 or 2 cooked meals, which are 1 or 2 portions of meals which are cooked. But I'm saying make a start. The day you start making these changes, your body will be thankful to you. And slowly and steadily, you will be able to increase the quotient of your raw foods in your life. And raw foods doesn't mean only fruits and vegetables. You can also create varieties of raw foods. You can see a milkshake over here. You can see a sushi roll, a smoothie bowl, a beautiful, salad platter, then some pastries and some cakes you can see. Do you know the pictures that I've uploaded right now on this slide? They all are raw foods. There are various recipes that exist on the internet, and these are all raw foods. And you can create also anything that you want to do out of it. Okay. But from my experience, I'm telling, don't depend too much on recipes. Just start having a papaya a day and see how you feel and start experimenting. Now let's move ahead. The biggest question for all of you. how to leave cooked food and eat raw. Do you have this question? No question. None of you are worried about it now. None of you are overwhelmed, So from tomorrow, all of you are going to be having raw foods. Okay. But I know, yes, SB says yes. So to tell all of you, how to leave cooked food, you have to start slowly. How did our mothers make us get used to having cooked foods? Beta thoda sa khichdi le le, beta thoda sa soup le le, when we were 6 months old, right? Slowly and steadily, they introduced all these cooked foods to us. So similarly, your body will take some time. It has been used to cook foods for say 30, 40, 50, 60, 20 years, or even 80 years. So you have to be a bit easy on your body and start slowly, dhire dhire. And the more you do it, you will be able to do it more easily. And to give you a background of what I do, as I told you, from morning till evening 4 or 5 p.m., I have only raw foods. And around 6:37 is my favorite time of dinner. I have a cooked dinner at that time. And then there are days when I feel like going fully raw and I can do it nicely. But yes, I also started slowly and gradually. And today I've been able to do it. I don't need any caffeine to put me, to keep me awake. I don't need any, afternoon sleeps to keep me energized. And I can easily wake up at 4 or 5 also in the morning without any problems. Okay. So this was my presentation to all of you, that go back to nature and start having raw foods. And let me tell you, you will feel that as if you've gone back to Mother Earth, Mother Nature, and that Mother Nature is hugging you back. So don't be afraid. Go back to your mother and she'll be more than happy to welcome you and give you the abundance of health and happiness and energy and productivity. Okay, that's all from me. And if you have any questions, you can let me know. And thank you for listening to this presentation. I hope it gave you some value, it gave you some insights, and you'll be taking some learnings from this. Thank you. Yes, Meghna, Team NDS also teaches a similar thing. Yes. Thank you, Nupur. If you have any questions, you can ask me. Any objections, and don't. Thank you, Sagar. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
And
Dilip
my
sir,
links
do you
have been
want to-
put on the, my links have been put over here. So if you want to know further about it, if you want to reverse your disease, have any help in your obesity problem, then there is a 30 minutes transformational call link that will be put over here. You can click on this link. It's a Calendly link, and you can come and have a nice free 30 minutes talk with me and help me understand you better, and you can get some further insights on what you want to understand. What will be some protein-rich sources of raw foods? Great, Shreya. That is a beautiful question. Now, let me tell you one thing. What is it that an elephant eats for protein? Shreya, I'm asking you. Peanuts? An elephant eats peanuts? An elephant in jungle? Not when it comes near humans. They eat green leaves. Okay, so yes, they eat green leaves. Yes. What is it that monkeys have? So whatever, when you have lots of fruits and when you have these foods in abundance, you will get more than enough protein that you need for your body. And you don't require more than 10 grams of protein per body weight, or 0.9 grams of protein per body weight. So if suppose you're weighing 60 kgs, you do not require more than 60 grams of protein. So have these raw foods in abundance. And if you want some higher sources, then nuts and seeds, cashew nuts, and all these mixed seeds. I also have this over here. See this bottle. This is mixed seeds. Can you see this? Okay. These are a bit higher in protein, and you don't need more than 1 or 2 teaspoons of it, or at the most 3-4 teaspoons. But your main protein can come from your fruits and leaves and vegetables also. Yeah. Any other questions? And I want you to ask questions, because the more you will ask, the more you learn. If you keep it to ourselves, ki ye kaise puchu, wo kaise puchu, what if I appear stupid? Please, I want all of you to appear stupid and ask me the stupid.
Any side effect of raw foods, madam?
Yes, lots. The side effects of raw foods is health. But I will tell you technically, the side effects is if you have an unripe fruit, then obviously it will give you bloating. If you have too many salads from tomorrow itself, I heard Pratiksha tomorrow, like earlier I used to have this much salad, now I'm having a big bowl full of salad. So your body is not used to it. So it will not be able to digest it properly. So start small, start regularly, start going and slowly and steadily increase the quantity. Then the only side effect is health and happiness and joy. And it's not question, but I have one concern. Nowadays, we really don't get good quality fruits. So how can we ensure that fruits and veggies we are consuming are grown without any use of chemicals and alterations? So I think, Sulakshana, that's a beautiful question that you have. And let me tell you today, the sad part is that none of the foods that we are having, none are actually pure. Even your meat is having antibiotics, even your milk is having antibiotics and, growth hormones and some different chemicals to make it thicker and make it look whiter. And I don't know what all. So everywhere food is adulterated. So in that way, your fruits and green leaves are the least adulterated. Okay. Because even the meat and milk and grains that you're having, or the animal sources foods that you're having, those animals have consumed these vegetables. They have consumed these fodder, those animals are also fed, right? And then their product is given to us as form of food. So their double adulteration happens. So when you go to the single source of fruits and vegetables, the adulteration is the least. And in that also, if you can grow some beautiful vegetables or some fruits in your gardens, do that. In your balcony also, you can start growing tomatoes or cucumbers. And otherwise, go and trust an organic vendor. Search, explore, try 3-4 organic vendors and start buying organic. They will also be lesser adulterated than the normal fruits and vegetables that you get in the market. I hope that answers your question, Sulakshana. Then just type a yes or just tell me that you've got the answer. Then Sagar is asking, great, thank you. Sagar is asking micronutrients rich source. Yeah, so all these things that I've told you are actually good source of micronutrients. And for that also, I want to tell you, have variety of colors of fruits and vegetables. Don't stick to just one type. And as I told you, the basic of raw food is fruits, vegetables, green leaves, nuts and seeds, these 5. And for more micronutrients, you can have a handful of nuts and seeds in their soaked or in their soaked form. So that will help you get this. But your fruits and green leaves and vegetables, they are also abundant in all types of nutrition that your body requires. And Sulakshana says, yes, organic fruits and vegetables are expensive. I think that's again a beautiful question, Sulakshana. I want you to tell me, when you guys have any disease, and most of all are disease these days, let's not move away from the fact, we either ourselves have diabetes or hypothyroid or hypertension, or we know somebody in our family who has it. So what is the cost of the treatment of those
Hello.
Hospital bills and the clinics?
Hello.
Yeah, who's this?
This is Deepak.
Hi, Deepak.
Yeah,
I think
I have
to share. Just a minute.
I just want to say something.
Yes.
Deepak sir,
When we
ma'am
are talking
hello.
Can I add something here for the participants? And
Yeah, ma'am is just asking, answering one question. So we'll move on to you after this.
Yeah. I'll wait for your question, Deepak ji. Okay. And I think after Deepak ji, we will be stopping the session because it's already 5:06 and 5:20. I also have to leave for somewhere. So you can always get in touch with me on the Calendly link and we can discuss there further. So Sulakshana, I'm asking, what is the cost of any treatment that we go through these days? Minimal cost. So if we do not want to put, if any of you can answer me, in our lifetime, how much money do we pump in our medical bills, in our tests and in our, diagnosis and surgeries? I think, for me, I think it's minimum 10 lakhs in the lifetime, minimum. उससे कहीं ज़्यादा ही होगा, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, right? So when you are deciding between a 25 rupees cucumber and a 35 rupees cucumber, that is just a 10 rupees difference. And even if you compile all the cost together, it will never go more than 5 lakhs or something in your entire lifetime, the difference. And it will keep you naturally healthy. You will not have multiple diseases. You will not have any other health problems. You mentally also, you will be lighter. You will be working more. And when you work more, you earn more. So when you earn more, you will recover all the money that you're putting in your organic fruits and vegetables. Yeah. So great. And I think Shreya is asking, will this kind of diet help in increasing weight or muscles, like for someone who goes to the gym? Yes. Yes, Shreya. You might require more quantity of fruits and vegetables and a bit more of these nuts and seeds, but your muscles get exercised when you exercise. And when you do it, you can definitely get much more healthier. And for that, I want you guys to watch this movie called Game Changers. Game Changers is about how to get protein and everything from a plant-based lifestyle. And there is somebody called Patrick Baboumian. I'll just type that name over here. His name is Patrick Baboumian. He's a weightlifter from Germany and somebody who's held a lot of world records. Like he's one of those people who has these huge arms. Like ye mere arms dikh rahe na aapko itna se kahi zyada hoga, I don't know, 5 times this. And he lifts these cars and trucks and he pulls all these heavyweight materials and he does stunts out of them. And somebody told him that you don't eat meat and you eat only plant-based lifestyle. So how is it that you're getting your protein? And you are so strong. You are as strong as an ox. So then Patrick asked that journalist, okay, what is it that the ox eats? What is it that the ox eats? What is it that the ox eats, guys?
Raw food.
Raw food and grass.
Grass.
Right? So we have enough protein in our green leaves and vegetables. It's just that we have been told other. Don't worry, you will have enough calcium and protein from these foods, and they will be full of fiber. They will be alkaline in nature. Your body will digest it easily, and it will be a wonderful life, even if you start stepping towards it. Okay. And I think that was the last before.
We'll take Deepak's one question and then
yeah, then we can wrap up. Yes. Yes, Deepak ji.
Yeah, hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. See, my point is I'm basically a food technologist. Okay. And almost 30 years experience in food industry. Okay. And when we talk of all, I was listening you from right from the beginning, and the question comes, when the raw food is full of pesticides and chemicals, there is a one simple solution for that, how to remove these chemicals and pesticides. Just soak the raw food for 30 minutes in little bit lukewarm water. Yes. So because osmosis, everybody is aware. So because of osmosis, the chemical concentration which is inside the raw food, it automatically comes out of the food and it will dissolve in water, and then wash the food for 2 times. And then you start consuming. The percentage of contaminants which is available in the which is going in your body, it will be reduced. That is how the best way to eat the raw food. That is number one. And number two, these chemicals and pesticides have an effect. When the baby is born, all the cells in the body of the baby, they are in purest form. And because of this external contamination, what we are feeding to the baby, all these chemicals are entering into the cell and interrupting in the function. And being the process is repeated for more than 20-30 years, you get all these lifestyle diseases at the age of from 30-35 onwards. So it is always better to wash the raw food, soak it thoroughly in lukewarm water, and then you consume. You will find there is a reversal of the process and purification and detoxification of the cells which is available, and they will function properly. This is just I want to add in your.
I think that's a brilliant input, and we all should clap for Deepak ji for highlighting the aspect. Yeah, that's a brilliant input. But I would like to add one thing to what Deepak ji has said. There are times when I don't get to soak the raw fruits and vegetables. And in fact, 90% of the time I don't do it. I don't buy organic, although I should be. And I tell all my clients to buy, but I don't do it. But the amount of fiber that you get in these foods now, the fiber itself, naturally that is existing, that helps you wash away these pesticides and everything. And I'm not saying it washes away totally, but even if you cannot do it, do not get scared. What I'm trying to tell you is, first, follow what Deepak ji has said. But for some days, if you cannot do it, don't say, oh, today I could not soak the bhindi and today I could not soak, any other fruit or vegetable, so I cannot have it today. No, nothing is going to happen in a day or two to you. Nothing is going to happen. In fact, whatever other food that you're having, as I told you, those are more heavily pumped with pesticides and other chemicals because they are coming to via 2 or 3 sources. So you've already cut the middle agencies when you go directly to the fruits and vegetables. So the consumption is as it is less. But yes, if you want reversal of your diseases and better skin and better glow, it is any day better to go back to organic and nothing like it. Thank you, Deepak ji, for that wonderful insight. Thank you. Great. So I think we are coming.
Yeah. I would like to thank Pratiksha ma'am for such an insightful session. I think there were many eye-opening facts there. And thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining and engaging for today's session. And I would like to end this session now. And thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining. Yes, ma'am.
Diksha, can we just take a small picture of this?
Yeah, sure. I request
all of you
everyone
can come out with your beautiful faces and just show me your faces for 1 minute. It will be such a blessing. Yeah, with at least our thumbs up, and my computer doesn't take screenshots. So any of you who can take screenshots, then just, yeah, Rasika says yes. So Rasika, then you send it to Diksha and, she'll share it in the group. Yeah. Okay. SB, Priya, SB, Arpit, Sagar, Prasad, Rushikesh, 1 INR, 6R, Nupur, RQ, Oppo, Ajas, and Surya. If you can put your cameras on for just 1 minute, it will be great. Lovely, Sagar. Lovely. Great. Surya is just showing his thumb like this. He's like, I'm not going to show my face. Okay. So Rasika will take the photograph. Nupur is there. Superb, Surya. Lovely, lovely. Chalo.
I'm taking the screenshot.
Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for everything. Thank you for being such a wonderful audience. And have the photos been taken, Rasika? Superb, superb. Great. So thanks for being such a wonderful audience. If you want to connect with me, do let me know. And I'm so blessed to be here to be able to share my insights with you. Thank you.
Thank you for joining. Thank you so much.
Thank you.